Well, hello, my soul friends. It's Victoria, the soul nurturer. Ah, we are here in Virgo season. I'm going to talk about the new moon today, a little bit about Virgo energy, and of course, Mercury retrograding starting on the 9th. So, first of all, at the top, I want to say someone said she was watching my videos and she said she wasn't sure from the sample she watched what I do. Okay, well, let me say this. I call myself the soul nurturer because what I do is nurture soul potential and help you reclaim your possibilities and purpose. How I do that is many ways. I do it with some of my trainings, hypnotherapy, NLP, dream work, energy psychology, um, spiritual direction. Astrology is one of my tools. Astrology is a way that I believe I get to look at the soul map that creator sent you in with to help you get back on track. I think that once in the human experience, our first breath, we're already conditioning to this world. And we override a lot of those. I call them the original factory settings of why we're here and who we are and the essence of our being. And so I simply come alongside of you as a soul guide, as a soul nurturer, to help you remember who you are, help you reclaim your potential, help you shift out of the human conditioning limitations into higher soul possibilities. I hope that helps. I know that I introduced astrology into this channel because I love learning about it. I love talking about it. And I think it's, like I said, I think it's a gift from Creator. It's a map, a touchstone to help us get back on track. So I hope that helps. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Okay, so first of all, happy birthday, Virgos. Can you believe we're already at the end of August, moving into, whoops, I got my phone on. I'm just going to turn that off. Virgos would have their phones turned off by now. So first I wanted to talk about the feeling. Whoops, I've got a new ring light here from my best friend, laurie.amigo. I call her the gadget girl. She's always got the best and the greatest gadgets and merchandise. She does promotions for marketing at Halo branding. So reach out to her, or I'll put her contact information in the details. But I'm always fumbling about trying to do these videos because, it's just me, myself, and I, no production team. So every little bit helps. So I appreciate my new ring light. Thank you, Laurie. Okay. So I'll try not to knock it now. So Virgo season, happy birthday. So if you were born between August 23rd and September 22nd, you're a Virgo. So we're going to talk about some generalities about Virgo. I know that Virgo gets a bad rap in some ways of being the perfectionist, and you can be being critical of self and others, and you can be, but I'm going to talk about that distinction. And also, as we talk about the qualities of Virgo, the archetypal qualities of Virgo, during Virgo season, and especially with the new moon in Virgo on the 27th, we get to, I call it, borrow or swim in the energy of Virgo. So, and also where it is in your unique chart. We all have, either we have planets in Virgo, or we look at the house that Virgo rules in our own unique natal chart to find out where the energy is going to be kind of woken up, or the focus will be. Okay. So, and if you don't know where Virgo is in your chart, feel free to reach out to me. I go to what is my website? victoriajazwick.com. I will put that in the details as well. I've said details twice. This is me borrowing the energy of Virgo. So if you are a Virgo watching this, or you have your moon in Virgo or a Virgo rising and you identify with this, comment below with what you relate to, or did I miss any aspect of you that you're proud to have as a Virgo? So Let's see. I'll come back to the new moon in a moment, but I just want to talk about the general qualities of Virgo. And like for me, maybe you noticed this, like the sun is now in Virgo. And I woke up this morning, my husband and I were just like all about cleaning the house. We were organizing, we were purging, we were, it's like Virgo quietly sits and observes and waits and watches and notices everything that's not quite right. What could work better? Virgo is all about, efficiency and organization. So you may have been looking at piles of paperwork, or for me, I had piles of clothes that I keep saying I'm going to sort through and give some to Goodwill and put the rest away. And they were just sitting there. So Virgo came and tapped me on the shoulder today, the energy of Virgo, and said, all right, I'll show you a better way. Let's go. So we were cleaning and purging and getting organized today. And that's what I usually want to say to people. Don't listen to what astrologers say about what's going to happen. Notice your own cycles. That's how astrology was developed, witnessing the cycles in our human living in relation and corresponding to the celestial sky. Tracking. I call it soul tracking. So first, notice, what have you been feeling like before you look at an aspect. This is a good way to learn astrology, is to journal about how you're feeling, what you're noticing about yourself, your energy, your inclinations, what you're drawn to, where's your motivation, and then look at the astrology and go, wow, okay, so this is what's happening for me. Now, when astrologers talk about new moons and cycles of astrology, it's general. They're universal transits. That's what I'm talking about today. It's general. And I always say when I do a chart, I'm not dealing in probabilities. I'm talking about possibilities. We all have free will. Okay. So in general, you may be feeling this urge to get organized and plan some things. Well, think about it. What happens cyclically around this time of the year? I mean, in our modern world, it's back to school, right? Whether you're in school or have kids in school or not, you have been conditioned to feel this urge to, get ready to go back to school, right? You might want to, do some of the things you were conditioned to do, get organized, get your school supplies, get new clothes, get your, and this translates to this time of the year. It's like getting more serious about your life. We've just, moving out of summer where we were playing and hopefully replenishing and restoring. And now we're like rolling up our sleeves and getting back to work, whether it's schoolwork or our business or our plans. This is Virgo energy. Virgo gifts. I like to say there's the gifts and then there's the wounds, or we could say the shadow side of any sign. So some of the gifts of Virgo energy, attention to details. I'll tell you a real quick story. Should I share this? I'm going to, just because I'm so transparent. And I know that if I'm fumbling and bumbling somewhere in my life, you might be too. So yesterday I had this crazy mood take me over. I felt really angry. I felt really uptight. I was just having a really challenging day. And I couldn't pinpoint what was going on. Of course, I looked at the astrology. Okay, there's Neptune opposite Mercury. There's I think there was a Pluto aspect to Mercury. Wasn't really like, I don't understand. Why am I feeling this intense? I thought, okay, if you watched my very last video on grief, maybe this was an extreme grief reaction. It felt like that. It was very sad. It was very angry. A lot of turmoil, a lot of grief, right? But it was so over amplified. I was like, what's going on? So today, unfortunately, and please no judgment out there, because I'll tell you, I am a holistic healer. I have always gone the natural path, supplements, healing, mind-body connection first. And I really say, I think Unless you've had the experience of a health issue and you had to find your own way, you have no right to judge. I'm just going to say that. And I will out myself and say that when I was 100% holistic, and I still am holistic, but like I would never consider taking traditional medicine ever, never, never, until I had a thyroid issue and half my thyroid was removed because of a tumor. Thank God it wasn't cancerous, thank God. But because of half of my thyroid being gone, I had to go on allopathic medicine. Still, this is a whole other subject, and maybe I'll do a whole other video on do not shame people for the medical choices they make, whether they're allopathic or, holistic or herbal or whatever your choice is. That's an individual choice. Okay. So, side note. Okay. So, anyway, I went to take my morning medication this morning, the thyroid medicine, and I noticed that I had pulled out an old bottle. I was on a different prescription before that came in a bottle. I got put into a different prescription that comes in like just a package that you just pop the pill out. Long story short, I realized that I had doubled dosed for 2 days one of my thyroid medicines that threw me into hyperthyroid, intensely, just sped up hard. I was frustrated. I was angry. Attention to details. This is what Virgo calls us to. Had I really looked at the bottle and said, this is the wrong one. How did this get here? But I didn't. It was the bottle. I took it. Attention to details. This is a really important Virgo lesson. And here's the thing, we can say we're back to school and Virgo is our teacher right now. So Virgo wants us to don't skip steps. Read the fine print, read the details before you click on to agree. What are you agreeing to? Okay. So attention to details. I already mentioned organizing. It's like this desire to simplify is also a Virgo word. Simplify, organized, clear, and purge for efficiency, right? So you may feel that. So purging, purifying your environment and also your body. Virgo is connected to health. And healing. Virgos are healers, the natural healers. They want to be in service to others. Maybe you're feeling like how you could help now, helping others, being more mindful of others, being more humble and more willing to be support or lifting someone else up. That's really Virgo energy. Virgo is connected to the day-to-day routine. So this is a really good time, especially with the new moon, to say what's not working, what would work better in your day-to-day routine, especially with health. Virgos are skillful. They can figure out those problematic issues and areas. They're pragmatic. I already mentioned they're healers. So I also talk about the shadow side of every of signs or the wounded side of a sign. So Virgo's energy and the wounded or shadow nature that's where perfectionism comes in. Perfectionism comes from not feeling good enough. Virgo energy can run a program in our minds like, I'm never enough. It's never enough. So here's an affirmation for this Virgo season. I do enough. I am enough. I have enough. Okay. Repeat after me. I do enough. I am enough. I have enough. Okay. All right. It's about enoughness. That's where the wound of perfectionism comes up. Being critical towards self or others, again, from a wounded place, right? This is shadow. Sacrificing self in order to serve others. This is very common. I'm writing about this right now. There's a distinction between being of service and of sacrificing oneself. Sacrificing self means you are stepping over yourself to offer others what you need. It leads to burnout. It leads to resentment. So no sacrificing self. Service means your well is full and you give from the overflow. Okay. I already talked about never enough. And there we go. Now, I want to talk about, so the new moon is on the 27th at 1:17 Pacific time, AM, Pacific time. Virgo energy is allowing me to slow down and make sure I get the details. If you watch my videos, you know that I have a tendency to talk fast and leave out details. I'm loving this energy of saying, okay, every detail matters. So I'm going to include them at 4-degree Virgo. So again, this matters the degree where the new moon is. And remember, a new moon is when the sun and the moon are conjunct. They're right next to each other in the celestial sky. So they're just kind of partnering, right, to offer us a certain kind of energy. Energy of a new moon is a new beginning, an opportunity to say, all right, let's reset, restore, and try again. I love that God, creator, the universe, gives us these opportunities to try again, to get up and try again. Every day offers us that, right? Every day, every sunrise is like, oh, a new day, fresh start. Well, that's what a new moon is. That's what the lunation cycle does. We start with the moon just before the new moon, which is the balsamic moon, which is the dark moon, which is that phase where we go inward, where we are sitting in maybe the darkness of what's not working. And then the new moon comes and it invites us to set new intention, to initiate new action, to create that new beginning, and to borrow the energy that it's in. So new moon in Virgo, all the things I just talked about. Where can I be more practical? Where can I work on something so it's more efficient? Where can I plan better? What details do I have to look at? How's my health? How's my routine? All of those things I just touched on, to set intention for this new beginning, to borrow this energy to support you through this lunation cycle, to fulfill an intention or a goal in a way that's more productive. Okay. So we have some other aspects I want to touch on, and then I want to talk about the Mercury retrograde. So this new moon feels like the focus based on the other aspects: Venus square Uranus, Venus opposition to Saturn, and Sun square Mars. Feels intuitively to me, this is my intuitive take on astrology, something's up with relationships. Now, Venus rules relationships and money. So it can be change in relationships, change with money. Maybe we're bored in a routine, bored at work, and we want to get a side job. My niece has a tanning business. She calls it her side hustle. I love that. And so you may be bored in partnership. You may be bored at work, or the way you're making money, or your creativity has been stagnant. So Uranus comes in, squares Venus, and says, let's shake something up here. It can be quick, sudden changes, or quick, sudden insights in how to improve or bring innovation to your relationships, to how you earn money, and your creativity. And then because Venus is in opposition to Saturn, again, Saturn says, we can do this better. What have you learned about relationships? What have you learned about money? What have you learned about creativity? Put some structure in place. Review the lessons, especially since we're back to school in Virgo season. And then we have Sun square Mars, which can bring a universal, this universal transit for all of us can bring some maybe irritability. Like Sun is where we want to bring our focus and bring our identity and light. Well, Sun and Mars is like motivation and drive, but it could also be like, if we're going in the wrong direction, Mars is going to be frustrated and want to pull us in another direction. This could be because Mars is in Gemini, could be some arguments about differences of opinions. This could show up in relationships. So my antidote for you, Venus is about love. Love. Bring more love to self and others, so those arguments are easily dissolved and resolved. Okay, that's always my answer. When you're arguing, you're in fear. When you're angry, you're in fear. When you're irritable, there's fear. When you're anxious, there's fear. What do you need? Love. Surround yourself with love. Call love in. Put your hand over your heart. Cultivate the love from within and share it with others. Okay, now, speaking of love, Mercury goes into retrograde on September 9th through October 1st. So first of all, I want to say people don't freak out about a Mercury retrograde. It's a gift. Everything that happens in the celestial sky in our day-to-day lives is working for us, not against us. You know, what was Einstein's favorite famous quote about the real question to answer? And I'm paraphrasing. And if you know this quote, put it in the comments. Um, is to is this question: is the universe friendly or not? Is the universe friendly or not? Is God for us or against us? For us, right? Everything is happening for us, for our unfolding. So even this, right? So a Mercury retrograde is a gift. Okay. Yes, there can be the shadow side of it, the wounded side of it, bringing up all the things that aren't working, rehashing, because it's in Libra relationships. We may be needing to review relationships. How are they working, not working? Old relationships may turn up. Previous partners may give you a call and say, I'm so sorry. We would hope for this, right? You're right. I see it now. No, but there may be partners coming from the past saying, I see my side of it, because Libra is about balance and fairness. So in relationship, I want to say in general, but especially with this Mercury retrograde happening September 9th, clean up your side of the street. Take personal responsibility. Where could you have done better? What can you do better, right? We have to release the blame and shame game. When we're blaming and shaming others for what they're doing wrong, and if they would only get their shit together, ooh, I don't usually swear on here. But if they would only do X, Y, or Z, then we'd have a good relationship. No, 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 no. It's always personal responsibility. What could you be doing better? How you're reacting, what you're doing in relationships, what the relationship is drawing out of you that feels like it's the person causing it, is coming from you. If you're triggered, that's you. If you're angry, that's you. This is your healing opportunity. So remember, healing relationships starts with healing relationship with self. So during Mercury retrograde, September 9th to October 1st, how's your relationship with yourself? Where are you out of balance with your own care, with your own self-love? And then review all the RE words: review, reflect, restart, reclaim, revision, right? So that's happening. And again, how perfect. I love when I look at little snapshots of, you know, like a new moon. What's going on with this new moon? What's the invitation? From what I've said, what do you feel? The invitation is something to do with relationships with ourselves, with others, and really to notice the frustration and see it as a gift, right? A gift. Okay, you're probably going, oh, whatever. I'm so tired of frustration and growth opportunities. That's where we are, friends. So again, the way I'll give you a quick tip on this, how I help my clients through transformational transitions, to say, I'm angry. Okay, I'm feeling angry. What am I telling myself about this scenario? And then dropping it down to a negative core belief. So if this person, let's give you a scenario. If this person is late when I really like being on time, and that's very Virgo. I gotta be on time. You know, every minute counts. Person's chronically late, and they're late, and you're over all the time, and you're frustrated. What does it mean for you? If they're late, that means that I am feeling frustrated. I am feeling disrespected. Okay, if I'm feeling disrespected, then if I am disrespected, I am not mattering. That's one of those core negative beliefs. I don't matter. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not being valued. And then you work there. And like I say to my clients all the time, then try on the healing remedy, which is the opposite belief. I am worthy. I am valued. I do matter. I always say that beliefs are like the clothes, like clothes. When we put on clothes, you know, we put on certain clothes and we feel a certain way. We project a certain image, or maybe we're just comfortable in our clothes and we feel like it represents the essence of us. Beliefs are the same thing. Try on a new belief during this new moon, not just one, but many. First, find the wound, find the empowering belief, try it on, and then ask yourself, what's different now, knowing that I'm worthy and I matter and I am valued, right? Okay. I hope all this makes sense. Comment with your takeaways. I got a lot of comments about the grief video I just did, a lot of private messages. And I know, it's a big part of the human journey. And we need to, one of my missions is to embrace grief, to make it normal, normalizing grief. Like, no one wants to talk about death, dying, or big changes or challenges. And then we don't allow space for grief, like there's something wrong, when it is an antidote. It is a healing agent. It is an ally that comes alongside of us to help us restore, repair our broken hearts, to grow more compassion, more potential. And it's a step we can't skip. It's like never resetting a broken leg. We'd be hobbling for the rest of our lives. If we don't restore and reset our broken hearts, we'll be hobbling emotionally for a while. So anyway, a lot of comments on that, which means I'm going to do a few more videos about grief. I know this subject well. I have had a grief journey since the beginning of my life. I'm trained as a grief counselor, and it is something we all have to be familiar with because it's part of the journey. So if you have any questions or specific requests about grief conversations, let me know, comment or email me, or email me at, I have so many different emails, thesoulnurturer@gmail.com, thesoulnurturer@gmail.com. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you. I'm going to switch back over here to Zoom so I could say goodbye to you directly. I do thank you for watching with me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, like or comment. This helps me get my videos out to the general public more and expands my outreach, and you commenting helps me do that. It also helps me know if I'm tracking with you, and I always love to know where I've helped somebody, because that's the goal of this channel, to help someone, to help many people. But I always say, even if I only help one person, that is sufficient. So take good care of you this Virgo season. I want to know what you feel like, what you're noticing, what you're being called to. Have you been creating your to-do list? Are you getting organized? Are you planning a new self-care routine? Tell me in the comments or reach out to me privately. Take good care, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for being with me. Bye.